Westside High School, home of the reigning state basketball champions.
Oh man, just going back to Augusta with the trophy.
5 months later, the Patriot football team takes center stage on Game Night Live.
They saw what winning looks like. You know, they saw the work ethic that it takes. They saw the effort that it takes.
Westside and Aquinas meet for the first time since 2009.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a heck of a game. A lot of people disagree with me, but I think they could easily beat us.
Welcome to Game Night Live. WJBF Sports presents local high school football live in your living room each Friday night. Game Night Live is powered by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And now, your hosts, John Hart and Ashley Brown.
Yeah, just 5 miles of roadway separate Aquinas High School from Westside High School, but tonight they meet for just the 7th time in more than 100 years of combined history. It's the 1-0 Aquinas Fighting Irish versus the 0-1 Westside Patriots on WJBF Sports Game Night Live. John Hart, happy to be back in the booth once again here with Ashley Brown and AB. It's an interesting matchup. You've got a lot of different storylines here. Both teams trying to replace some key guys from last year, and you have two head coaches who know each other very, very well.
Yeah, absolutely. James Leonard has done a phenomenal job since taking the job at Aquinas. He won a state title his first year. He's averaged 9 wins a season. He's taken them to the playoffs every year he's been there. And Lee Hutto came in and really turned things around here and changed the atmosphere, getting them into the playoffs, a playoff win, a playoff home game. But he does have to replace almost every starter off last year's team, whereas James Leonard brings back one of the best players in the area in Clark Jackson. We'll be talking about him a lot. He had 24 tackles in their opener last week.
And that brings us to our 4 keys to the game.
Yeah, and we'll take a look. Don't take Westside lightly. I don't think Coach Leonard will, but the players can't either. And also play physical. We know Clark Jackson will. They need to find a few other guys that can do that, just like him. And then on the other side for Westside, Aquinas does have 2 young quarterbacks. Put some pressure on them and play mistake-free football if they're going to have a chance tonight against a really good Aquinas team.
Down to the field for the coin toss.
All right, guys. Hey, Mr. Billman. Hey, referee, Mr. Billman. Mr. Ross, your umpire tonight, all right? Guys, a couple things for you guys, all right? Blue, you talk to Blue tonight. White, you talk to White, all right? If I got to deal with it, that's not a good thing, all right? So you keep it your side, you keep it your side. Hey, when I come to you guys to control something, I expect it to be controlled, all right? Same with you. Guys, respect goes both ways. From us down and you up, all right? Y'all the kids, have fun, man. It's football. All right, there's 22 of us and 22 of y'all, 6 of us. Let's do it, all right? Let's play hard. I expect you to play hard because we officiate hard, all right? We're going to let you play, though, all right? All right, Westside, you're the home team. Aquinas, you're the visiting team. I got a police corner here. The badge is the heads, the cars are tails. The badge is the heads, the car's tail. What do you call? Tell him.
Head.
Head. It's heads. What do you want to do?
I want to get the ball.
You want the rock. You want to kick, right? You want to kick that way. Yep. Put your backs over there. Put your backs over there. All right, here we go. Aquinas want to toss. They want the rock. Hey, you're kicking 2 the clock. All right, guys. Hey, let's go. Let's bang them up.
So the Aquinas Fighting Irish have won the toss. They will receive the kickoff in the Burke Health first quarter. When we return, the Patriots ready. Aquinas and Burke County about set to tee it up here at the battlefield. First, let's get you to our coaches matchup, sponsored by Johansson's.
That's right. Tonight's coaches matchup brought to you by Johansson's, outfitting the CSRA's teams for over 50 years. Coach Leonard at Aquinas, former Aquinas player and assistant coach, lives and breathes Aquinas football, led them to the state title in 2013. In his first year as a head coach, over his 9 seasons, he averages 9 wins a year, and he's never missed the playoffs. Lee Hutto, a defensive-minded coach, led the Patriots to their first home playoff game in 30 years last year. Also, their first playoff win in 19 years last season when they won 9 ball games.
Aquinas beat Jefferson County 40-21 in a game that wasn't really even that close in week 1. Westside lost to Hepzibah 32-3 last week, and trying to get back on track here. We're underway in the Burke Health first quarter, and the Irish will start from the 20.
Well, that one actually went out of bounds.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, there's
You're
a
right.
flag. And it went out of bounds at the 1 yard line. It looked it was going to go into the end zone, and it kind of took a left turn.
35.
Sean Metcalf, the kicker, he's All-State last year, and he provided the only points for Westside last week with a 44-yard field goal in that loss to Hepzibah.
So add 15 yards, and the Irish will set up 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Westside has never lost to Aquinas, leading the all-time series 6-0. First meeting between these two schools since 2009, September 11th, 2009, the last time these two got together.
And our first chance to see Jim Franklin, the sophomore, at quarterback. He looks good. There's a good pass. It's just dropped. He had Brandon Ross unable to keep that ball in his pocket there.
And do not adjust your sets. Do not be alarmed. Aquinas is throwing the ball this year. Last year, Aquinas was a run-heavy team, and this year, last year, they had 243 yards per game. 243 yards passing last week to 144 yards rushing, which is almost the exact opposite percentage of what they had a year ago.
Well, Jim Franklin, the sophomore, threw for 243 on just 8 completions. He also had 3 touchdowns. So they love seeing that. And, in talking to Coach Leonard, not much, nowhere to run there for Malachi Gordon. But talking to Coach Leonard, it wasn't necessarily the game plan to throw as much as they did, but Jefferson County just packed it in and just dared them to throw it, and they had a lot of success going downfield with Franklin. Malachi Gordon had a good game, averaging over 10 yards a carry last week.
Yeah, 85 yards total rushing, which on a lot of teams would have led the team, but we'll get to that. So 3rd and 9 on the opening possession for the Irish.
Franklin is good size for a 10th grader at quarterback.
And this time he will go to Walker Mobley, close to a first down. Looks like he's going to come about a yard shy.
Yeah, just shy. The question is, what is Aquinas going to do here in the early going?
Boy, this would be a gutsy call to go for it from your own 44.
Well, it would do one thing. It would show your team you got a ton of confidence tonight.
And they will. James Leonard going to roll the dice here.
Might try to draw them off. Let's see if they do that first.
That looks like what they're going to do.
And they do have their big back in there, Clark Jackson, who had a monster game, one of the biggest games.
Yeah, I'm going to go get
in the state. Yeah.
They are going to go for it. It is Jackson. And I don't know. He does have it. It is a first down.
They have forward progress, the little spin he made at the line got it for him. But
and that will allow me to step aside and allow you to talk about what Clark Jackson did 1 week ago.
Well, there you see, number 1, Clark Jackson, last week on defense. And he's hurt, by the way. He's not 100%. He's got a hip injury. 24 tackles. On offense, he rushed for 3 touchdowns, and he had a touchdown reception. And by the way, he's normally their kicker, but they're resting him on that because of the hip injury. But, yeah, he is a phenomenal football player. I said he's kind of our version of Luke Kuechly, a phenomenal athlete at linebacker. Wouldn't be surprised if he leads the state in tackles.
Fresh set of downs, swings it out to Brandon Ross for a gain of 2.
As a freshman, Jackson had over 100 tackles last year, over 150. And this year he is on a crazy pace after 1 game. And I tell you, another kid who had a lot of tackles is that kid right there, Sean Metcalf, normally the kicker and the punter. Playing defense for the first time last week. All he did was lead the team in tackles with 16. On a very young Westside team, only 2 seniors on the squad. They lost virtually everybody off their starting lineup, 2 or 3 starters back.
Well, you mentioned how J.B. Arnold's Jefferson County team sort of forced Aquinas to throw the football last week. Another short game for the Irish. And James Leonard on the Thursday night huddle, which I understand, AB, is the most listened to new high school football radio show in the CSRA.
On Thursday nights.
On Thursday nights.
Between 6.
No, it's a great show. If you're not tuning in, it's a lot of great information to get you ready for the Friday night games. But James Leonard was on your show last night, and he said they forced us to throw the football. They want to try to establish the run again tonight.
Well, that's what he wants to do. He's a former lineman. He loves running the football. But if the defense is going to give you the pass, and that's what Jefferson County did, Aquinas jumped out to a 33-0 lead. You mentioned that game was a little more one-sided than the final score. They're going deep this time.
Speaking of passes, It is complete inside the red zone. That is Kevin Douglas, who had 4 catches and 95 yards and a touchdown last week. Big gain here.
Well, it wouldn't be an Aquinas game without a Douglas on the field, He's getting some college looks himself.
No, Coach Leonard pointing out before the season that he's been a water boy for this team since he was in 4th grade, and now getting his chance to extend the Douglas name. 36 yards on the pass and catch.
So Franklin, who last week averaged 30 yards of completion, going deep for the first time tonight.
This is from the 13. And
Walker
7
Mobley,
yards
I believe,
for Mobley. Impressive opening drive for the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, and this is not what you want if you're Westside. Westside's defense last year was so stout. They had the best defensive line in the area, one of the best in the state. They yielded 88 points the entire regular season last year, under 10 points a game. And they just, they graduated all those guys. They're looking for some young players to step it up, especially on this side of the ball. Lee Hutto loves him some defense.
From the 6, it's Mobley again trying to get the corner, and I believe he has the first down. And it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, 1st and goal. He got right down to the 1-yard line. So Aquinas
knocking on the door.
Yeah, right after, just as they left off last week with that impressive win. I said that during our broadcast, John. I'm not stunned that Aquinas beat Jefferson County, even though Jefferson County, but I was stunned at how it played out, beating them as badly as they did early on.
I was watching from home, and when you guys posted the score of 33-0, I thought it was a misprint.
Yeah.
And there is Mobley. In for 6, touchdown, Aquinas.
Well, Aquinas, exactly what Coach Leonard wanted to see. They mixed in some passes, but they were able to run the football on that first drive as well.
And we've talked about what Westside has lost off of last year's team. Don't forget, Aquinas lost Charlie Bussey, an 1,100-yard rusher from their team from last season.
Yeah, Charlie, and not only that, over the course of his career, he was outstanding on special teams, defense, wherever they put him. Heck of a baseball player, obviously playing at the next level in baseball. And this young kid Franklin has looked good so far, though.
The extra point is up, and it is good. And it is 7-0. Fighting Irish strike first. Westside will try to answer. Aquinas goes 65 yards in 10 plays, takes 4:52 off the clock. A Walker Mobley touchdown. And a Jack Rhodes PAT gets given the Irish a 7-0 lead, and the Patriots will start from the 20-yard line.
Let's see what the Patriots can do. Last week they were able to complete a bunch of passes, but they were all short passes. We mentioned Aquinas averaged 30 yards of completion. Westside averaged 5 yards of completion. Big difference. 14 of 19 was their young quarterback, Xavier Goss, a junior. There you see the offense. Goss at quarterback, the leader of that group. But again, very, very young. A lot of new faces.
Yeah, Westside lost a 1,300-yard rusher and Xavier Green, and they now have a quarterback, Xavier Goss.
Yeah, Green was so special.
Well, speaking of special, nice, how about this? That's Janarian Kamga.
Yeah, Kamga had a big game last week on defense. He had 15 tackles himself. And there he looked good hitting the hole. He full head of steam by the time he got the football.
Yeah, 15 tackles last week, 3 for loss and a sack, but making his name known on offense here. A first down.
And he's also just a 10th grader. It amazes me how ready physically some of these kids are, at such a young age.
Kamga again, this time met at the line and hit hard.
It was
Bryce Morris and Duncan Johnson. Duncan Johnson had a big week last week on defense for the Irish as well with a couple of sacks.
Yeah, and he's got an offer from Samford. He's a senior, and then Bryce Morris just a 10th grader, so another young fella out there getting it done.
No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
Right in the middle of that defense is Clark Jackson. We talked about him earlier. Always around the ball.
Goss on the rollout, and he's got his man close to another first down, and it is another first down.
Yeah, nice throw there.
Armani Thomas, who had 4 catches a week ago.
That's a good step in the right direction for Westside. Come on and get the first down. Get a little confidence for your quarterback.
Give him 12 on the catch. Up to the 42-yard line and another Westside first down. One of the unique – go ahead, AB.
Well, I was going to say that was Kamga on the carry. That time not a lot of running room, though.
One of the unique things about this matchup, it's rare that you say neither head coach has ever missed the postseason as a head coach.
That's pretty impressive.
Lee Hutto is in his 2nd season at Westside, but of course before that he was at Washington Wilkes, Warren County. In fact, at Warren County, led the Screaming Devils to their first region title in 26 years back in 2007.
Well, one of the most respected coaches around the area as well. You could hear it in James Leonard's voice when we talked about him last night, and the respect he has for Coach Hutto and what he does. And there's a good run by Kamga right up the middle.
Yeah, another first down for the Patriots. Move the chains across midfield.
Well, they had a rough go of it last week again against Hepzibah, but that's a Hepzibah team with some weapons. Telly Johnson, the running back, linebacker, and you got a great quarterback in Jalen Patrick, a great receiver in Eric Grant.
And an affordable auto insurance first down, 3rd on this drive for the Patriots.
And Goss looking at the sidelines to get some signals from the coaches.
It ain't broke, don't fix it. A couple more yards for Kamga.
Yeah, that time good surge up front. Again, it was Bryce Morris and also there Duncan Johnson.
And look, we know Westside wants to make up for their performance last week against Hepzibah. That was it's a lot to ask of a team returning. We've heard from 1 to 3 starters. Either way, not a lot coming back this year from last year, and there are going to be some growing pains. But so far, so good on this drive for Lee Hutto's Patriots.
Yeah, they have looked pretty good. Oh, that was a dangerous pass, but it is complete.
Yeah, to Thomas, and dragged out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
Well, let's look on the replay here. That ball, the defensive back made a play on it, but it was just out of his reach and complete for a nice play for Westside.
It's going to be 3rd and 2, 5 yards on the catch.
Folks, you can mix and match 2 of your breakfast go-tos like a sausage biscuit, chicken McGriddle, sausage McMuffin, or hash browns for only $2.19. Top it all off with a bold and delicious iced coffee for just $1.69. That's right, $1.69. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Kamga will move the chains again for, yeah. Patriots eating clock and eating up yardage on their first possession of the game, trailing 7-0. As we move toward the 3-minute mark here in the first. Fresh set of legs in at running back. That's Andre Morgan, a sophomore running back in for the Patriots. Picks up a couple.
Yeah, good drive here by Westside.
Any offense.
2 things.
Still first down.
Moving the football, and they're keeping it away from Aquinas.
Yeah, from the previous spot.
Well, our first penalty of the game. Actually, if you count the kick out of bounds, technically our second.
Well, John, one thing we had last week in a game you missed Thursday night, we had more face masks called than any game I can remember in my lifetime. 7 face masks.
Well, and early in these early season games, you get a lot of penalties and a lot of cramping.
Yeah, we had a lot of that too.
Some of the cramping's in the broadcast booth.
Not as much Friday night. We had a lot Thursday night.
And now Nathan points out they didn't step off the penalty.
And they may have caught that. Coach Leonard may have caught that. A lot of pride here at Westside coming off that state title in basketball that you saw at the outset. And they've had some great baseball teams over the years. Won some state titles. Gerald Barnes, a legendary coach, winningest coach in Georgia. And they've had some great football teams over the years, too. Back when I was in school, they had a running back by the name of Joe Ross that turned out to be one of the best running backs in the history of Georgia Southern. And before that, Mike Kelly, who played at Georgia Tech, outstanding quarterback.
Good catch by Nathan Edwards, who noticed they did not step off the penalty. So it's going to be 1st and 15 from the 40.
Goss looking to throw.
Goss will throw. Looking for it all. He's got his man. What a catch!
Wow.
Great grab by Marty Thomas.
I thought they were going to blow it with a little overthrow, but Thomas goes upstairs and makes a great catch.
39-yard grab.
We saw 2 amazing catches in the Thompson-Burke County game. I don't know if we saw one as good as that, though. What a catch by Thomas.
The leader in the clubhouse for the Powerade play of the game.
No doubt about it. What a catch. Good play call, too. They got their man, sprung him wide open. And Goss put it where it needed to go. A little high, but, man, Thomas went up and got it.
1st and goal for the Patriots. And the Irish equal to the task.
Yeah, they're trying to go up the middle with Camga, but Aquinas there. Frank Anderson leading the way, number 3.
Impressed by Camga in the early going here.
Yeah, Camga, Thomas. How did this team only score 3 points last week?
I think practice was a little interesting this week.
Maybe Hepzibah might be a little bit underrated.
Well, I think that's also part of the equation. They've got some great talent down there.
They do here on 2nd.
2nd and goal.
And Camga's going to push
He's going to
the
get a
quarterback
push.
in, yeah.
Touchdown, Patriots.
Nice drive by Westside.
Impressive.
Coach Leonard said he's not taking this team lightly. He thinks that Westside's capable, and they show it on that drive with a nice drive. All the way down and get the touchdown run from the quarterback, Goss.
First touchdown of the season for the Westside Patriots. And now, one of the more impressive kickers in our area.
Yeah, returning
Sean
all-stater.
Metcalf.
Yeah.
Hit a 43-yard field goal, as you mentioned earlier, AB, last week.
Yeah, and he made a 48-yarder last year. That was his long last year. That was in the playoffs.
And I'm so glad he made that PAT, because usually when we say what a great kicker someone is, wide left or right. But Metcalf is true, and it is 7-7. We got a ball game here at the battlefield. Patriots go 80 yards in 11 plays, take 5:39 off the clock. We're inside 90 seconds here in this first quarter.
Well, very impressive drive by Westside. Got to give Lee Hutto credit, because you're right. Something was said, coming into this one about, all week in practice. I'm sure that there was some frustration about how they played last week, but they came out today, and obviously they've forgotten what happened last week. They came to play tonight. They're dealing with a very good Aquinas team, coming off a very impressive win. But Westside ready as they answer Aquinas' touchdown with one of their own.
So another Burke Health kickoff. This keeps up. Burke Health's going to get its money's worth on these kickoffs.
And Metcalf booms that one in the end zone.
He's good at that. So the Irish will start from their 20. I mentioned led by James Leonard, who's the winningest coach in school history and a legacy at Westside. 81-28. It's hard to believe he's in his 10th season, but many of you Westside folks know his grandfather Denny coached at Boys Catholic, then Westside or Lake Aquinas for 21 seasons. They'd gone 74 years without a region or state title before James Leonard got there. He's won 4 region titles and 1 state championship in 10 years, and as we mentioned, not missed the playoffs once.
And they've produced a ton of college kids, and we talked about it with him on the radio side that all those kids are coming back and showing these, current high schoolers that, yeah, you can make it to the next level out of Aquinas, and they got a lot of pride on this team.
And speaking of legacies at Aquinas, Kevin Douglas with a short gain.
Yeah, Kevin, speedy receiver.
Yeah,
And that number 7 is a popular number because that is the number worn by the best quarterback in Aquinas history, Liam Welch.
Said short gain. He got 9 on that. That's my fault.
Liam Welch, who threw 31 touchdowns in that 2013 state championship season.
Went on to a great college career. Oof. Hard hit, completed over the middle, but a nice tackle by Metcalf.
Yeah, Metcalf looks like he might have got there a little bit early, but a good job by Gordon hanging on to the football. That play was open the first play of the game, and they tried to go to Ross, and he couldn't hang on. This time Gordon's able to catch it.
Well, Gordon knows a thing or two about hard hits. He's one of the best defenders on this Aquinas team.
Sure is. Good,
got the first down.
Good player on both sides of the ball. Very impressed so far with both quarterbacks. These young quarterbacks have looked good so far.
Could be the final play of the first half, and as I say that, it will not be because it's incomplete. Clock stops at 12 seconds.
And as I say, how good they've looked, he overthrows one. I think his receiver might have fell down there, but that was his second or third read, too, by Franklin. So he's looked good. Number 7 right there in white. You're right. Last year, they pretty much ran the ball primarily because they didn't have a passing quarterback. They had Charlie Bussey running the ball for the most part. This year, they'll play. They've got 2 quarterbacks, and Leonard was quick to point that out. But it's obvious that Franklin is the lead guy.
And Franklin looking for a big one. Got a big one. Broken up.
Ross couldn't hang on to it. And that was an effortless sling down the field.
40-plus yards.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look like he tried to throw that at all. The ball just took off. And Ross, though, it was right over the top of his head. It's like an outfielder in baseball trying to make that catch with your back to the batter. And Ross could not hang on.
So one more play here in the first quarter. How many times can I say that? 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. And a good play by the Westside defense. Metcalf all over the field tonight. Going to force a turnover. So that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter of play here at the battlefield. All tied. Westside, Aquinas, even at 7. Seven all after one quarter of play on week 2 of Game Night Live, and the Westside Patriots set to get the ball back for the second time after a very impressive drive in their first possession. And a good kick. Thomas dropped at the 15. Time for our first Augusta Auto Auction sideline report of the night. This week on the sidelines for us, we welcome Bria Smith for the first time. Hey, Bria.
Hey, John. Yeah, so Westside was actually able to make the second touchdown of the game, tying the score 7-7. Like you mentioned earlier, the last time these two teams went head-to-head was in 2009, and Westside actually led with the win with 14-9. If they want to mirror that same achievement, they'll just have to continue playing both great offensively and defensively. Back to you.
All right, Bria, thank you very much. 1st and 10 from the 15 for the Westside Patriots. 46 yards.
Wow, great punt.
Great punt. And after this, we will get you our QBs by the quarter.
Clark Jackson coming into the end there and kind of cleaning up that run by Kamga. Also in there was 56, Barrett Alexander. I had the good fortune of coaching young Barrett when he was a little bit younger. He was probably, I think I probably had him when he was about 10. Good kid, good family. It's fun watching those guys play now. Here goes
Goss will keep,
yeah.
and he's got the first down across the 25-yard line. Gives us a chance to get you to our QBs by the quarter, brought to you, as always this year, by Culpeper Ace Hardware.
Yeah, let's take a look. Aquinas, Jim Franklin, the sophomore, 6 of 9 for 62 yards passing. And for Goss, the Westside quarterback, he's 3 of 3 for 57 yards, and he's got the touchdown run as well from 1 yard out.
7-yard run for Goss gives the Patriots first down. Kamga again. This time runs into traffic at the 30.
And Jackson actually, ball did come out late. Jackson actually had him by the leg, but Kamga able to break free there. As we said, Jackson's not 100% with a hip, but he's such a warrior. They need him out there. You'll see him as the season goes on probably running the ball more and more involved in their offense. And if this game stays close, you'll probably see him more involved tonight.
6-yard gain on the play after all of that. And again, the Patriots continue to work between the tackles.
Well, these two coaches are pretty similar. They want to run the football and play good defense, but they've got some quarterback. You know, both of them have quarterbacks that can get the football to their receivers, and they've got some talent catching the football as well. So you'll see more of a mix, but they would both be content running the football, running the clock, playing steady defense, no turnovers, no penalties, old school smash mouth football.
3rd and 4. We'll call it 3rd and 3. Long 3, short 4. You do the math at home.
Big play, though.
Yeah, the way these offenses have been playing. And the Irish will stand up and force a turnover.
Yeah.
Or punt. Eventually they'll get the ball back. So good stand by this Irish defense. After Westside marched down the field on its opening possession, good adjustments by James Leonard and his staff.
Yeah, both teams score their first possession, and both teams get stuffed on their second. Good chess match going tonight between these two. And now one of the best kickers and punters in the area, Sean Metcalf. On for Westside. We saw a 46-yarder from Aquinas. And Metcalf with a nice high kick.
Fair catch called for. Ball is out. He got back on it at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, Malachi Gordon bobbled it, but was able to fall right on top of it. So Aquinas does keep the football.
I was wondering what was wrong with the lights here at the battlefield. I realized I still had my sunglasses on. It's the first game of the year for me, folks.
We weren't going to say anything.
Yeah.
We were just thinking prima donna.
Why it's so dark here? Irish will have the ball first and 10 at the 31-yard line. And it's Mobley. Mobley with a big gain across midfield.
Yeah, terrific run there. And Metcalf with another tackle. The good news is Metcalf made the tackle. The bad news is he's your safety, and he's making a lot of tackles.
20-yard gain.
Yeah, good lead block there and good head of steam by Walker Mobley. Just not a big kid, but boy, he hit the hole hard that time as well.
So Aquinas on the move from midfield. And the ball's out.
That's twice
again.
now.
The Irish living dangerously.
Yeah, luck of the Irish twice there.
Yeah. They're going to lose 2 on the play.
There's a look at Lee Hutta.
And you're talking about a Westside defense that, even though these are mostly new players, there's a lot of pride on that side of the football. Yeah. You know, they gave up 32 points in one game last week. They only gave up 46 combined in all of their regular season wins last year. So they're not used to that kind of thing, but gashed here for another first down.
Well, they had the best defensive line in the area, one of the best in the state. They graduated all 4 of them. And then they probably had the best defensive player in C.J. Hutchinson, or Caleb Hutchinson, excuse me, your brother. And they graduated Caleb, of course.
Caleb now at Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, terrific player, just a great all-around player. If he were a little bit bigger, he would be probably in Athens or Columbia or somewhere like that. And another good run by Mobley here.
Mobley putting on a clinic here on this drive for Aquinas.
Yeah, they're running on that right side behind Duncan Johnson. And we talked about Liam Welch going to Sanford and having such a great career. They've already offered Duncan Johnson a scholarship.
And the Patriots want to talk about this as the Irish are on the move here with 6:41 left to play in the half. Tied up 7-7. All tied at 7. Week 2 of Game 9 Live, 6:41 to play here in the first half as the Irish on the move, 2nd and 2 from the Westside 32-yard line.
Yeah, both teams kind of trading punches right now.
I think a lot of people, based on last week's results, thought Aquinas would be the favored team here. But James Leonard said in the opening segment for us tonight, he felt like this would be a good game and the final score might surprise a lot of people as Irish pick up the first down.
Yeah, sometimes you think that's just coach speak, but the way Westside's playing, maybe he was right. Cam with the tackle there for Westside. Man, talking about a good-looking athlete. And he, again, just a 10th grader. Going off that 15-tackle performance.
So another fresh set of downs for the Irish from the 26 of Westside. And we're going to go in reverse.
Yeah, they were dialing up a pass play there, but
False start. Offense.
somebody a little too excited for that play. Yeah, we talk about Westside's youth. Aquinas.
Offense, still first down.
Not only is Clark Jackson not 100%, the best name in the area.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Buddy Rowe Guerrero. He is a speed burner, sophomore defensive back, a little banged up as well.
I don't know. We also have Beans.
Beans Hunt.
Beans Hunt. That's all name team as well.
I don't know. Buddy Rowe.
Buddy Rowe's pretty
Rowe's
good.
Hard to beat.
Nice stop there by Jeffrey Hughes.
Yeah, Beans, one of the best players in the area, had a big game last week. Rushed for 3 touchdowns and had a 78-yard kick return for a touchdown as well. Thomas Jefferson Academy playing their arch rival from Briarwood tonight.
2nd and 13.
Yeah, rushed it a little bit. Franklin, the young QB there, had Douglas in the flat and just rushed it just a hair.
So big 3rd down for this Westside defense. And again, Clark Jackson, you mentioned how he does a little bit of everything. He can boot the ball as well, but Jack Rhodes right now is handling the kicking duties for Aquinas as Clark Jackson recovers from that injury. And Rhodes had a big week, first week of the season, 4 of 6 on points after.
Yeah, he's good. And then the big thing with Jackson is the kickoffs. He kicks a ton of them into the end zone.
Well, they're not looking to kick any field goals. They're going for 6, and they've got it. Touchdown, Kevin Douglas.
I checked that. I think that was 8. I think that was
it 8?
Copeland Thurman.
Copeland Thurman.
I could be wrong.
Let's see on the replay. We're going to give them both credit for now.
Oh, no, you're right. It was 9 Douglas.
Well, Copeland got some air
Never
time
trust
as well.
my eyes over yours.
I told you I just changed my glasses.
Sorry, Kevin. Trying to take that one away from you.
30-yard pitch and catch from Franklin. to Douglas. But the extra point is no good, and that's what we get for singing the praises. We won't do that anymore to the kickers tonight.
Yeah, he hooked that one left.
But Aquinas does grab the lead back, 13-7. Let's get down to the sideline again for another Augusta Auto Auction sideline report with Bria Smith.
Yeah, John, so I'm here with a couple of Westside students. We're here with Ariana, Kennedy, and Jemiah. Talk to me a little bit about how excited are you guys to be here at the first home game?
I'm real excited. I'm really hyped for this. I hope we win.
Very excited. We better win. That's awesome.
I am very happy to be at my school game. Big Westside.
All righty, well, how about it for Westside's cheering section? Back to you, John.
They're hype, baby.
I like it.
I like the spirit.
And that was a great play right before that, though. The touchdown pass, well executed. Douglas was able to get free, and Franklin was patient on that play, letting the receiver get beyond the safety. Hit him on the money for the touchdown. How about the sophomore with 4 touchdown passes in 2 games, and a game and a half?
Sort of a squib kick, and is there a flag in late? Should be a flag. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Malachi Gordon. Once he takes that knee, you got to leave him alone.
Yep. Which again, early in the season, young players.
So hard to stop your head of steam till you're running full speed and trying to make a play.
But this will be a big break for the Patriots.
Yeah, especially with just 5 minutes left.
Here we go, during the return. After the dead ball, we got a personal foul. Late hit on the kicking team. First down.
15-yarder against the Irish. And so the Patriots are going to have plumb field position at their own 49. Down 6, 5:07 left in the first half.
Patriots trying to answer. The teams have sort of mirrored one another so far in this game. Westside's trying to keep that up here.
Goss wants to throw again. Well, that has been very effective for them tonight, rolling him out, getting him in space.
He's a good passing, good quarter. I noticed, last week, the kid completed 14 passes. They just weren't able to give enough time to get it downfield. We've seen on a couple of deep balls he's thrown, he can get it down there.
Ricky Davis, a junior receiver, with an 8-yard gain. And into Aquinas territory. And it's Kamga fighting for the first down.
Yeah, great run.
Boy, he is not easy to bring to the ground.
Yeah, like I said, he's a well put together young man and just an 10th grader. And I changed, John, that was 4. That one I think was 16 on the carry.
Was it really?
That one I'm not going to miss because it's not 8 and 9, it's 16.
Andre Morgan.
Yeah, Morgan
sophomore.
on the carry. Another sophomore, though.
Unbelievable how many young players are contributing for this Westside team. First down. This time Goss will try it himself.
Yeah, nowhere to go.
That's not what was designed there, I don't think.
Yeah, Clark Jackson, host of white jerseys there. Say, I'm interested. The race I want to watch this year, and I think you might can throw Metcalf in there.
Walker Warnock?
No.
Kemp Abrams?
Clark Jackson, Wes Michelson, who has the most tackles this season. Because I'm going to tell you, Wes Michelson's all over the field too. And I know Jackson's not 100%, but he still had 24 tackles last week. And wow. He's already got 6 in this first half. He's already got 30 tackles, and we're not even a game and a half. There are some all-area defensive backs that will have 30 for the year probably. That's pretty amazing.
And if you are a defensive back and you're getting that many tackles, as you mentioned earlier, that's not a good sign.
Not necessarily,
it's not a good sign for your defense.
Number 5. Ball start. Offense. Still second down.
So this drive started out with A lot of promise for the Patriots, but going the wrong direction. 2nd and 16 here. Line to make is the 25-yard line.
Yeah, just be patient. You don't have to get it all on this play. Put yourself in a good position on 3rd down. Now, they've had some good fortune rolling, the quarterback out. Let's see what they try to do here.
Goss will throw. It is incomplete. Okay.
Yeah, he was trying to go to Thomas, who has had a good game so far tonight. Made a heck of a catch to set up Westside's first touchdown.
All right, AB, here we go. Here's your first Ken Nugent one call, that's all moment if you're Lee Hutto. 3rd and 16, getting close to the end of the first half.
Well, the problem, you like to roll your quarterback out, but you're on the short side of the field, and I don't think you're going to roll him against his body, although Thomas is on that side of the field. So I think you do a straight drop back here and see if you can't get a receiver to run just past the marker and try to get a first down.
Again, the line to make the 25. And now it's going to be still going to be the 25. They're going to have to go a lot farther to get there.
Well, they did roll him
Ball
out
start.
across
Offense.
his body, which is
still 3rd down.
And Copeland Thurman is going to get his name called because it looked like he was going to be a bit of trouble for the Westside offense on that play coming through, making his blocker miss.
Well, we've seen some of the students here at Westside tonight that have shown up. We also have our T-Mobile students section cam. It's like a theme night.
Is it?
Like a cowboy theme, maybe.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Either way, it's sharp.
Got to do a theme night up here in the booth.
3rd and you can wear the cowboy hat. 3rd and a whole bunch. And they're not going to get him. He did have him. He was looking for Ricky Davis again.
And Nathan's pointing out that
well, there is a flag down back at the 40. They may get bailed out here.
They were right on top of the quarterback when he let go of the football. And there may be a roughing the passer. Nathan, that's what he thinks the call is.
Nathan doesn't miss too many.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer on the defense. That results in automatic first down.
That's why he makes the big bucks, folks.
Yeah, I tried to make a call last week, and I thought it was, and I should have just listened to Nathan. I was completely wrong. I said, I'm not doing it anymore.
So a gift first down for the Patriots. Up to the 31 of Aquinas.
That's one of those breaks you've got to take advantage. You don't get a lot of those throughout a ball game against a good football team, especially a well-coached team like Aquinas.
Missed back to Comga on first down. Gonna pick up a couple of yards as we get inside 3 minutes to play in the first half.
Yeah, they got plenty of time. There's no use rushing in here. Plenty of time to get the final, just short of 30 yards here they need for the touchdown. Westside Patriots coming off a 9-win season that saw them go to the postseason, have a home playoff game.
Their best season in 20 years.
Yeah, a lot of firsts.
Winningest season, I should say. Kamgay again to the 25. Going to bring up 3rd and a long 5.
Yeah, they got to get it to just inside the 21 to not quite the 20-yard line for the first down.
This is now spot the ball at the 26-yard line of Aquinas. We'll have 3rd down and about 5 yards to go for the Patriots.
So 3rd and 5. Westside trying to keep the drive alive. Goss throwing, flag down in the backfield, and he's out of bounds, so hold everything here.
Yeah, Kevin Douglas made the pick, but he was out of bounds.
And let's see what the call is.
Douglas with the touchdown on offense and nearly the pick on defense. But hold everything. There is a flag, and it is in the secondary. One of the Patriots fans is yelling, holding on the defense.
Well, he seems like an impartial observer.
Yeah. Fair and balanced.
Hold on.
Well, yeah. Westside is retreating. Now Aquinas is retreating.
Holding on the defense. It's going to result in a first down.
You don't see the players on the field wrong very often, but an Aquinas player was definitely saying it was going to be on Westside, and it was not. It's on Aquinas.
And another gift first down, which will drive James Leonard absolutely batty.
Frustrated, over on that sidelines, I'm sure, right now.
First and 10 from the 15.
You got 2 chances to get off the field. You got to do it.
Goss throwing, almost picked again.
Yeah,
well, they're really trying to pick on Kevin Douglas.
Well, and you got a tall receiver, long arms. Throw it up and let Thomas make a play. Douglas not having it on that one.
Douglas equal to the task both times.
Well, folks, Two Moms Kitchen on Central Avenue in Augusta behind Daniel Village features all your favorite desserts and casseroles that'll make your mouth water. From your family's favorite homemade cookies to custom iced and piped cookies in festive shapes, colors, and sizes, Two Moms has everything you'll need. They got delicious casseroles as well. What's for dinner? How about Two Moms classic home-style casseroles with hearty helpings of chicken, beef, pasta, or rice. Take one home, bring it to a friend. Freeze one for the next time you need a delicious dinner. Two Moms Kitchen on Central Avenue behind Daniel Village. And you and I both going to check that place out, right, John?
I'm telling you what.
I read the
Makes me
menu. I was
hungry.
like, yeah.
Yeah, you and I both, we were on an email chain about that. And that menu is something else. And meanwhile, complete disaster for the Patriots on the last snap.
Yeah.
We'll set up 3rd and 19
you got
from
really,
the 25.
Right. From here, it would be a 42-yard field goal. You'd like, even if you don't get the first down, to at least get some yardage to make it a closer kick for Metcalf.
And Nathan telling us that Metcalf made a 53-yarder going the opposite direction during warm-ups.
Well, we saw him last year. Remember, he made a 48-yarder in that game against Jefferson County.
And Lee Hutto will call timeout to think about it, which gives us time to talk about James Leonard. And if you're not familiar with his story, the head coach at Aquinas, we've talked about what he's done on the field for the Fighting Irish. But he's blessed just to be here tonight and coaching this game for Aquinas. If you don't remember, back on April the 13th, he and his family were, or April the 23rd, I should say, he and his family were involved in a deadly crash. His wife Katie, his young son Hudson, they were hit by a car that was involved in a car chase, and they were hit at 90 miles an hour. The other driver died at the scene. James had broken ribs, a partially collapsed lung. Katie there, broken ribs, lacerations on her spleen and her liver. Hudson actually came out of it somehow, miraculously, with just a minor seatbelt burn, but they spent days in the hospital, and there you see James Leonard and his family recovered now, and we are thankful, as I know the Aquinas Nation is. One of the things he told you on your radio show last night is that they didn't have to cook for a couple of months because of how the Aquinas family turned out to support them. So.
Well, all his coaches were by his side, and just the outpouring. Oh, and another bad snap, and that really hurts because that puts
out
him
of field goal range.
Although,
I mean, you got 39 seconds.
It'd be a 56-yarder.
Well, you didn't let him try a crazy long kick, or you throw it up.
So we'll see what Lee Hutto does. I'm sure coming out of a timeout, that was not exactly what he was looking for.
When you have Aquinas giving you breaks like that with the penalties, you got to take advantage. And instead, they back themselves up now where they may come up empty-handed on this drive.
Well, Hutto's going to let the clock wind down. 15 seconds, 14 seconds. By the way, Lee Hutto, our Team Georgia coach for Border Bowl this year.
That's right.
Looking forward to that in January.
And that's where, Coach Leonard and Coach Hutto got to be buddies, assistant coaches.
All right, so Coach Hutto will call another timeout with 1 second left on the clock. We already did our Ken Nugent one call, that's all, but what do you do here?
Well, it's 57 yards. I don't think they're going to kick it. By the way, there is a Westside kicker that we saw make a 57-yarder one Friday night. Obi Agikeze, excuse me. Indu was the basketball player. Obi Agikeze made a 57-yarder, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to try to throw it up, let a receiver make a play. Maybe we might see a little hook and ladder here.
Why not? Got nothing to lose with 1 second left. Obi went on to star at the University of Maryland.
Yep. Still involved in kicking coaches and trains kickers. What a great family, all here at Westside.
Well, that's why you said Indu when you first mentioned it, the great family, family.
And their older brother went to play college soccer, and then Indu college basketball at Penn State, Obi college football at Maryland, and all three were exceptional students. What a family.
Well, look what we're going to do here.
They're going to try it. 57 yards.
57-yard attempt.
I would get a running start like Jordan jumping from the free throw line. He's taking 2 steps.
Have somebody back to return this.
Yeah, it could be like a kick 6. Sorry for all of you Alabama fans watching right now.
No, we're
not really. No, we're not. Let's be honest here. But that would be smart, as Nathan points out, to have somebody back.
Yeah, that play. The fact that play happened in an Alabama-Auburn game to decide it. Again, if you wrote that in a script of a movie, people would say, "Nah, I don't do that. That's not believable."
Well, I was, as a Georgia fan, I was happy because
the week before, or 2 weeks,
2 weeks before, you had the prayer at Jordan-Hare, and that's all we heard and saw. So
that overshadowed it a little bit.
Just a little bit. We didn't have to hear about that as much.
But look at this. Metcalf is kicking a 57-yard, or attempting, and he's getting like 2 or 3. Look at this.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'd be
getting a Happy Gilmore attempt.
I'd be getting a running start like a long jumper at the Olympics.
Why not? Let it all hang out, Metcalf. Oh! What a try.
That'd have been good from 55.
Yes, sir, it would have. Oh, my goodness. What an end to the first half. And what a first half it was between these two teams. Back and forth we go.
You know, if one of those botch snaps doesn't happen, they get the 3 points in all likelihood, and they're down 13-10 instead of 13-7.
So, we are through one half of play here at the battlefield. Your score, Aquinas 13, Westside 7. The Eichels Law Firm halftime show is next on Game Night Live.
Welcome to the Eichels Law Firm halftime show. As you can hear, we have the Westside band playing in the back for their first time of the season home game. Let's give a listen to them. Welcome back to Eichel's Law Firm halftime show. Right here in the second in the halftime show, Westside is down 7. Aquinas is up 13. But we've been following Westside all week long, and here's WJBF's Brandon Dawson with the story. More on Westside.
Westside High School has a lot to celebrate. This is the 8th year they've become recognized as an AP honor school.
Particularly an AP challenge school, and what that means is that for a small school less than 900, we offer a very wide range of AP curriculum options.
Westside's AP Academy prepares students for college, the workforce, and more. But what the program is really all about is the students.
The students are the most important part of what we do here, and we try to help them find the pathway after high school, whatever that might be for each individual student.
Assistant Principal Wiggins told us the students he's spoken with are very excited about what the AP Academy has to offer.
I personally love the AP Academy because I feel like it creates a good work ethic, because I feel like it gives students responsibility and it teaches them discipline.
The AP Academy is really good because it has a great culture and a great camaraderie. So even though you're in stressful environments and AP classes, it's tougher than what you normally have. You have a core group of people that you're going through it with. So it really brings us as an academy closer together.
Our goal for any student as they enter, whether it be freshmen or if they enroll at a later date, we want them to find the right path for them, whether that be AP or a different route. We want them to find that path. We want to prepare them to have the soft skills and the hard skills that are going to prepare them for the new career options that are changing every day.
The students aren't the only ones who love the program. Their teachers love it as well.
They really pay attention to us and our needs, not only as a class but as a student, which makes it easier on us. That way we can learn, and it makes the classroom environment so much better.
The information covered, I really felt like if I learned it, I could help change the world at least a little bit, and it's opened me up to what I want to do in college and in my career.
Westside High School's AP Academy prepares students for the future, and the participants in the program are thankful for everything they've learned.
Thank you so much for always supporting me and for always trying to help me and make myself a better person.
Brandon Dawson, WJBF News Channel 6.
Welcome back to the Eichel's Law Firm halftime show. We're here with some of your hometown Game of the Week sponsors. Maggie of Two Moms Kitchen, talk to me a little bit about some of the things that you guys cook up there.
We have cookies, a variety of cookies, and casseroles and cakes, but our specialty are the iced festive cookies that we do for a lot of birthdays and weddings and baby showers and things like that. But we try to accommodate everybody, and it's a custom shop.
And what brings you all out here tonight to support both teams?
Well, I have a son playing at Aquinas, and I did graduate from Westside, and I love the schools. I think this is more about the boys and the schools, and I'm just happy to support two good high schools in Augusta.
Awesome. And Leiden, we are grateful to have you here as well. You all have been serving and helped several families in Augusta. Talk to me a little bit about some advice you could give families who are, kind of in troubled times or just don't really know where to turn for their next move.
Bria, I'm so grateful that we have the opportunity to help consumers in the CSRA. Bankruptcy's probably got the highest client satisfaction rate of all these specialties. And if somebody's facing problems financially, the hardest thing to do is get over the aggravation and frustration. Just give us a call. We offer free consultations to people in the counties that we represent, and find out the answers from us instead of going on the internet or asking your barber or your bartender.
And Maggie had ties in the game, but what brings you out tonight?
I'm a proud alumni of Aquinas, class of '86. So, and I've been a fan of the Irish ever since I started there, and I still follow them, and I'll probably have a couple of my own running around here pretty soon.
Awesome. We're glad to have you.
Thank you, Bree.
And Mr. Leiden, you guys, technology is huge. I actually had heard the other day that drones may even be able to bring groceries to your doorstep. What's next for technology over at Pollock?
That's a great question. So You know, the paperless revolution is heading our way. Our job at Pollock is to keep pace with all the changing aspects of the technology world. We were fortunate enough to be voted best of the best in the IT realm, as well as the office equipment and office technology sector. So we're not just copiers anymore. You know, we are moving into the digital age where we've got folks that are going to be able to handle your network and everything on it. So, you know, just trying to be kind of all-encompassing and make the change with the time.
All right, and I just definitely want to thank you all for being here, for your support for both teams, and we're ready to definitely take another look at both teams after the halftime. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much.
Go Irish.
And that was the Eichels Law Firm halftime show. Back to you. And welcome back to the Eichels Law Firm halftime show. I'm here with two McDonald's representatives, Charmel and Tanisha. So talk to me a little bit about how you got your start with McDonald's.
I started at the age of 16 at the location on I-20 and Boy Scout Road, and I've been with them for 16 years, and I worked my way up, and I'm an operations supervisor.
And do you all have any high school students in the area, the Augusta area, or even here at Westside or with the Fighting Irish that work with your restaurants?
Yes, ma'am. I have a lot of kids that works at my job from Westside and other high schools, so they really like it there, and I like it.
And how was your start? Explain that to me.
I've been working for McDonald's 21 years, and I worked my way up, and I'm a general manager now.
And it's been an exciting game. It truly has been. Both of the teams are working very hard to bring home that win. What brings you all out today to support both teams?
You have to support your community. You have to give back to your community. You have to make sure you represent the kids and the teenagers that work with you, because they help us deliver awesome service to our customers, and that's what keeps the business alive. And we just have to show that support as a community.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. I truly appreciate it. All right, y'all are. And so now we're going to introduce Augusta Council, Sports Council, punters of the game for Westside. It is Metcalf, number 14, and he's a congratulations to you. And then we also have from Aquinas, we have Malachi Gordon, number 21, who is a junior. Congratulations to you both.
Eichels Law Firm halftime show continues. John Hart, Ashley Brown back with you from the press box here at the battlefield. And great game here that we're watching, 13-7 at the half, but also a lot of big matchups across the CSRA tonight.
Man, oh man, we do. The Waynesboro Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram scoreboard. There was one score that kind of threw us off. We got a wrong score. We heard Effingham County was up on Burke big. It was wrong. Burke County rolling right now, 28-7. Also got a Thompson looking good this week. We figured they would bounce back. They are. 27-0. They lead Jeffco. 14-14. Lexington gives South Aiken a tough game. Grovetown at the half on top of Greenbrier 7-0. Laney, stingy defense, and they're holding Hepsburg right now 8-6. Dorman leads North Augusta 14-7. Harlem has looked great this year so far. They're up 14-0. And Swainsboro.
Wow.
Quarterback Ty Adams, he's committed to East Carolina. They are shutting out Washington County right now, 21-0.
And Washington County, along with Thompson, in the same region with Westside this year after the realignment. So something that the Patriots can keep an eye on there as well. As mentioned, 13-7 here at the battlefield. Let's take a look at how we got where we are here at the half. And this was early on in the first quarter on the first drive of the game. Mobley for the touchdown, AB.
Yeah, he looked good running the ball in that first quarter. Didn't do as much in the second. And then Aquinas back on the attack here.
It was a 1-yarder from Mobley, made it 7-0 Aquinas.
And that was a big hit by Metcalf on Malachi Gordon, but Gordon able to hang on to the football. And here Aquinas back on offense. This was a well-designed play, and the quarterback super patient here, letting his receiver, giving him time to get open. And when he did, he delivered a laser for the touchdown to Kevin Douglas.
Yeah, 30-yard strike for the Irish, and 13-7 is our score here at the half. So, Aquinas won the opening toss and elected to receive. Westside will have the second half kickoff when we return. The Eichel's Law Firm halftime show is complete. The second half is next here on Game Night Live.
Well, welcome back to Eichel's Law Firm halftime show. I'm here with Augusta Sports Council Representative Charlie Walker. Talk to me a little bit about, so you all help with sporting events. Talk to me a little bit about some of the things that you all have done so far.
Wow. Yeah, thank you for having me this evening. And yeah, we're a nonprofit organization that is regionally based. We want to bring sports into the regional area so that we, exploit what we have here in Augusta. Our next big event is Ironman 7.3, which is going to be happening on September 25th, Sunday. We're looking for volunteers, about 1,400 volunteers who need to, kind of help us make that happen. You can go to our website or Facebook page, go to sportscouncil.com or on Facebook, and we would love to have you guys help us out.
And lastly, what does it mean to represent these punters of the game?
Oh, wow. We actually, the Sports Council initiated the Ray Guy Award, and we want to recognize local punters who are doing, what Ray Guy did, I guess. And we want to make sure that they get recognized and, during a full game, hopefully, and hopefully we can give them some little bit of recognition, because punters are important. They flip the field. They make a difference, and they're not always recognized. So we felt like, hey, let's go ahead and recognize them.
Awesome, and that's Augusta Sports Council. Thank you for being here. We truly appreciate all your support for both teams, and that is all for the Eichel Law Firm halftime show.
Thank you.
Bria, thanks, and thanks to the Augusta Sports Council for being one of our great sponsors here on Game Night Live. Speaking of great sponsors, Culpeper Ace Hardware and Lumber with our QBs by the quarter, AB.
Yeah, the visitors from Aquinas who lead at 13-7. Their sophomore Jim Franklin, 7 of 11 passing for 92 yards and a touchdown. And for Westside, their quarterback has done a good job through the air, and he's got a rushing TD. 4 of 6 passing for the junior QB for 65 yards, and he does have that 1-yard rushing touchdown, Xavier Goss for Westside, and he has his team down 6. But, man, they really had a golden opportunity there, John, at the end of the first half, and not only didn't come away with the touchdown, they backed themselves up to where it was such a long field goal. A tough break for Westside there.
Yeah, two snaps backed the Patriots up and took them, out of field goal range for most people.
And
Metcalf gave it a run.
And they had been clean the whole game.
Yeah.
That was the first time we had seen that. So very odd. And Aquinas certainly helped them get down there with a couple of big penalties, the roughing the passer and the defensive holding. So Patriots are down 6, but they will get the football here to start the second half.
So 24 minutes of football left at the battlefield to decide this one. Again, Aquinas has never beaten Westside. These two schools separated by just 5 miles, but have only met 6 times over the years.
That's hard to believe. They've only played 6 times.
And this is the first time in 13 years. And off we go in the second half. And a good start for the Patriots from their own 36-yard line.
Yeah, I believe that was Thomas who had the great catch so far, the play of the game probably, certainly for Westside, that set up their only touchdown.
Yeah, had 3 catches for 57 yards in the first half. Did Thomas?
Yeah, we saw last week in the Burke County-Thompson game, Storm Hunt made a great diving interception for Thompson, and also for Donta Williams for Burke County made an incredible catch on a touchdown, but I don't know if either one was as good as the catch just earlier in the first half by Thomas.
Storm Hunt, another all-name team nominee?
For sure.
Oh, Aquinas on first down. What a stop by Malachi Gordon. We talked about the big week he had last week, which kind of got overshadowed with what Clark Jackson did. But he had 8 tackles himself a week ago.
We had 8 tackles. He had 8 carries for over 80 yards, and he also had 60 yards receiving. So just a good all-around game for Malachi Gordon. He's just next man up. Think about all the great players that they've had at at Aquinas during Coach James Leonard's tenure here. You know, Brendan Douglas, Liam Welch, go on and on.
Loss
And
of 4 on first down. And speaking of Douglas, on cue with the INT, first and 10 Aquinas at the Westside 40-yard line.
Well, that entire end of the first half, he nearly came up with about 3 of them. One, he was out of bounds, and the other 2 was unable to hang on. But that time the receiver fell down, and Douglas was right there to catch the football and give Aquinas the ball back with a 6-point lead here early in the second half.
They'll back it up to the 43-yard line. Either way, first and 10 Aquinas.
But, you know, going back, think about all the running backs alone they've had here. Reuben Garnett, the Stones, Darius Stone was so great here. And there's a good run. Speaking of running backs,
Clark Jackson, the aforementioned, huge gain. Still on his feet, pushing the pile inside the red zone to the 15-yard line, 14-yard line.
Didn't look like his hip was bothering him there as he was carrying a blue wave. That'll get the crowd really into the game.
And an affordable auto insurance first down for the Irish. And Coach Leonard mentioned on your radio show last night, I thought it was an interesting term he used, that Jackson's on a pitch count as a running back.
Yeah. Well, he's so important to the defense that you're resting him a little bit on offense. You're not letting him kick because of the hip. So they're trying to do what they can because they know how important he is to that defense.
We have an injury on the field. While we do check on that, let's send you back down to Bria Smith for another Augusta Auto Auction sideline report. Bria.
And then you can chime in. 30 seconds. I'm here with 2 representatives from Georgia Cancer Center with Aaron and Andrea. So talk to me, how does someone know if they're at high risk for cancer?
So specifically for breast cancer, the NCCN guidelines recommend that all women have a formal breast cancer risk assessment by the age of 30. This is a questionnaire that can be done by your healthcare provider. It takes into account your family and personal risk factors. Based on that score, you may qualify for beginning mammograms prior to the age of 40 or even advanced screening with breast MRIs.
And if someone is at high risk, does Augusta University and the Georgia Cancer Center have the resources to help them figure out their next steps?
Absolutely. So as the breast health nurse navigator, I can actually perform the risk assessment with each patient over the phone and working with their healthcare providers, get them directed to the appropriate resources, either within our imaging center or at the Georgia Cancer Center if we do happen to find a breast cancer. You can actually find out more about both of our teams by visiting augustahealth.org/breast health or /cancer.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for your help and for your information and for being here tonight. John, back to you.
Bria, thanks. And thanks to the Georgia Cancer Center for being a part of Game Night Live. Christian Bradshaw, a junior defensive lineman, was the player shaken up for Westside, able to walk off under his own power. So 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line.
Yeah, Jackson again. Carrying a defender. That was Kamga who had him from the side, but unable to bring him down before Jackson gets a couple.
Kind of just want to put Jackson and Kamga in a ring and just see them get the way these two go back and forth with each other.
You know, when you first heard that Aquinas had a freshman with 100 tackles, you're thinking, oh, okay, that's. But then when I started hearing about what a freak in the weight room and an athlete he was, and I watched a video of a box jump, and I'm like, we're watching Luke Kuechly. I mean, that's what he looks like, and there he is right there
Jackson
on the run.
Again. 4-6, touchdown Aquinas.
Well, right on cue, Clark Jackson gets into the end zone. His 4th rushing touchdown.
Yeah, he had 3 last week, and in addition to the receiving touchdown, so that makes 5 total through, 6+ quarters of play for Clark Jackson.
That touchdown a quarter, that's not bad.
No,
Almost.
you'll take that.
And
Nathan points out all 41 yards on the Aquinas drive, courtesy of Clark Jackson.
Well, that's a good little trinket to have in your pocket if you need it.
You bet. Jack Rhodes with the point after, and Aquinas extends its lead to 20-7. 9:56 left to play in the 3rd quarter at the Battlefield. Aquinas went 41 yards in 3 plays, took a whole 71 seconds off of the clock. And the Irish extend their lead to 20-7. And AB, if you're Westside, you need an answer here.
Yeah, no question. You got to get some points. This Aquinas team looks to be getting a little stronger, wearing you down a little bit. A nice drive here and come away with, at least 3. You'd rather have 7, but at least some points would be big.
Which might be a good time to mention something that Coach Leonard talked about on your show and something I've read about in the offseason. The strength and conditioning coach on his team, Ethan Crawford, who played for him on the state championship team, went to Liberty University, played there, is now back. And with as many players as they have going both ways, strength and conditioning, especially when you have the heat and stuff like that, is so important. He really gives a lot of credit to him.
Yeah, early in the season, especially like you said with the cramps and stuff, you notice we haven't really had any. I know this is game
on
2,
both sides.
But yeah, exactly. Credit to the coaching staff on both teams for that.
So Goss on 1st and 10 for his 34, lost it, got it back, and a loss of a couple.
And I think that might have been Copeland Thurman who made the hit. So it was Thurman.
He had 12 tackles last week, couple for loss, and that'll make 1 for loss tonight. They'll call it a 1-yard loss, 2nd and 11.
They've had some success in the passing game. Let's see what they do.
And this is Ricky Davis, and nothing doing there.
Yeah, they threw the screen, but Aquinas was just all over it. Clark Jackson
first in.
Out there, also number 60, Tristan Bussey. Yeah, they had that one sniffed out pretty well.
Yeah, stop me if you've heard this one before. Clark Jackson first in.
Yeah.
So Patriots headed the wrong direction. 3rd and 12.
They've had a little success rolling him out right. Let's see if they do that. They got plenty of field to work with over there. Cam get in the backfield with the quarterback Goss.
And Kamga's been bottled up a little bit since some early success. They're going to throw for it. And Davis was the intended receiver, but with him every step of the way was Brandon Ross, who had an interception in week 1.
Yeah, Ross, who had that, a chance at a big play on the first play of the game, was unable to hang on there. Nice coverage. You knew Westside was going to try to hit it. They had to get 12. You knew they might go deep, and they did.
Well, the good news if you're Westside, one of the stronger legs in the CSRA in Metcalf.
Yeah, the problem though, he's not kicking a field goal. He's punting, and that now your defense. Yeah, your defense has got to get a stop here.
Still a great kick, and a Westside roll to the 27-yard line, and that is where the Irish will pick it up. Can't come to Westside without mentioning one of the best athletes ever to come through the CSRA. AB, I think you know who I'm talking about. Westside class of 1997, the great William Avery.
He was spectacular, no doubt.
Point guard on the Duke team that won 32 straight, then taken 14th overall in the first round by the Minnesota Timberwolves in 1999. But to me, the most impressive thing, he went back to Duke in 2019. He was one of the first players to leave Duke early under Mike Krzyzewski and go to the NBA draft. But he went back to Duke in 2019 and finished his degree.
Yeah,
He's still very active in the area.
I'll say this. There's never been a better pure shooter to play in this area than William Avery. He could stroke it when he was a sophomore on that state title team with Ricky Moore. Oh, and there's a big play.
Making a shot.
Oh, it's going to be bigger than we thought.
Douglas still on his feet inside the red zone and finally dragged out of bounds at the 13-yard line.
Yeah, Douglas having a big game.
They're going to say the 15.
Mentioned in that Westside State title team with Ricky Moore. And, of course, Ricky and William ended up playing heads up in the national championship game when Ricky was a senior and William was a sophomore, UConn versus Duke, getting a lot of attention for the CSRA. And I think they wish they might have William or Ricky at running back or receiver right now because they're in jeopardy of going down another score here to Aquinas, who seems to have all the momentum.
And slipping through the cracks is Mobley. He had 67 yards on the ground in the first half. If my math is correct, that was a 57-yard connection.
Douglas now got to be close to 100 yards. Yeah, has an interception, a touchdown catch, and then that 57-yard catch.
Second and 4. Call it 3.
Yeah, that time Westside's defense did a good job getting some penetration. And the defensive end just kind of rode the line to that side and made a nice play. Making the play for Westside was number 55, Nick Smalls. Well, that defensive front last year was so talented, so good.
I'll go out on a limb here and say this is 2-down territory.
I would think so.
James Leonard will likely keep his foot on the gas here. Third and 2 from the 7. Touchdown.
Yeah, Malachi Gordon. You know, and that you're going to look at it and say, okay, the receiver made a good play, not a great pass. He threw it where the only person that could catch it was the receiver. It was a little low, but he threw it where it was not going to be picked off, no jeopardy of that, and Malachi Gordon made a nice grab.
And this Irish offense is starting to hum, much like it did a week ago against Jefferson County.
Yeah, kind of opposite. In that game, they jumped out to a 33-0 lead. This time a little bit slower. You know, the offense scored on their first possession, but they were letting Westside hang around for a while. Now they've pushed that lead out to 19.
Yeah, Rhodes good on the PAT, 26-7 with 6:50 left to play here in quarter number 3.
Well, you got these young kids for Westside, and I know Coach Hutto is probably fighting that right now, fighting the desire to fuss and argue, yell and scream because you're not having some success, but you also got to keep your kids in the game and not let that frustration get to them.
First 2 drives in the second half, 13 yards to -5.
And Nathan points out in the first 2 drives of the second half between these two teams, what was the number for Aquinas?
113 for Aquinas,
-5.
113 yards for Aquinas, -5 for Westside. And 2 quick scores for the Irish.
We may end up seeing Rhodes, who's kicking the ball now, at some point at quarterback. He is the freshman understudy to the sophomore Franklin.
And the Patriots will start from their 30.
Well, this is almost a must-score possession, yeah. I mean, there's still plenty of time left in the game, of course, but you haven't been able to stop Aquinas, especially in the second half. You started to sputter a little bit on offense. They need Kamga or Goss or Thomas. They need somebody to come up with a big play. Thomas can stretch the field a little bit, but they need one of those guys, one of their leaders, to make a play to get them back in this thing or at least get some momentum on their side. And Kamga is in there with Goss in the backfield.
And that's the Kamga we saw in the first half.
He looked really good
quarter.
There.
He pushes ahead for 6 yards.
Kamga, one of the captains before the game, too. Just a 10th grader, but a lot of responsibility at that young man's plate this year.
He'll get it again, and he'll pick up a first down.
That's a veteran coach there. It's so easy when you're behind.
Panic.
You had to panic and want to throw the ball. They came out with 2 straight runs right up the middle, basically, with Kamga. Able to pick up a first down.
Settle them down.
Yeah, get those chains moving.
Get some of the confidence back in the offense that they had in that first quarter.
Yeah, they marched right down the field that first drive. And
this is Goss. Goss twisting, turning, near midfield. Give him 7.
Yeah, again, on the ground. They are getting it done right now on this drive. 3 straight really solid runs.
You mentioned plenty of time.
Yeah, just barely past the midway point of the third quarter here.
They'll call it 6, 2nd and 4. Back to Kamga, and a first down across midfield.
Yeah, Kamga upset with himself, got tripped up. He felt like that could have been a big gainer. Duncan Johnson was in there, and also Copeland Thurman.
They did not give him the first down. Instead, his knee was down at the 49, so it'll be 3rd and 1. And now it's first down, and now it's more.
Well, that was a terrific job eluding that first defensive player, which I think was Thurman. And if Thurman tackles him, it's 4th down and short. Instead, he's able to spin away and get the first down and keep those chains moving, keep the ball moving for Westside.
Good-looking drive for the Patriots. Fresh set of legs in at running back and stopped near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was Morgan in there. And Nathan's telling me another Aquinas player piling up some tackles. Frank Anderson, number 3 there, you saw him. He's got 6 tackles in this one.
Goss wants to throw. This is that rollout to the right that has been successful, AB, not this time.
Yeah, Malachi Gordon made a nice play on the ball. He was right there with the intended target, which was number 11, Riley Walker, and he gets his hand up and bats the ball down.
So going to bring up a 3rd and 10 from the 42-yard line.
You've had a nice drive so far. You're not in a must-score situation, but it's pretty close.
2-down territory?
I think so. I don't think there's any question. I think that, but that's what I'm saying. I don't know that you have to get all 10 here, but you've got to put yourself in a 4th and short. Yeah, you got to get at least 7 yards, I think.
Goss to throw, being chased, and
the fact that
it is going to be 4th and long.
The fact that he was being chased didn't give him time to really set his feet and zip a nice throw out there. He had a receiver.
And guess who was chasing him?
Clark Jackson.
And Lee Hutto will elect to kick it away.
Yeah, if you pick up 6 or 7 yards there, maybe you go for it. But here he's going to punt it. So Malachi Gordon back deep at his own 10 or 11-yard line, and Metcalf will try to pin him back deep here. And that's what Hutto's thinking. You pin him back, maybe get a stop and get the ball back in good field position.
Or a turnover.
For sure. They would love that.
Trying to angle it, and
he almost did.
He almost downed it, but it'll be a touchback.
How about that? He got it to stop, but just right inside the end zone.
So we have 4:04 left play, and that'll give us time to get to our Stump AB trivia question. Well, we have an injured player first. We'll keep an eye on him. That is Jamal Oliver. You have a half point from last week.
Yeah, that was a tricky one.
I was not here last week. I did supply the trivia question, and you got one, which I thought was a two-parter. You got one, which I was very impressed by the way. For those who weren't with us last week, the trivia question was Ridge Spring Minetta had been coached by had two former head coaches that share names with what two famous late-night talk show hosts, and you guessed.
I guessed Johnny Carson and Seth Meyers.
You were half right, John Carson.
Yeah, and then
the answer was
Jim Kimmel.
He only coached 1 year in 1960, but it counts.
It counts.
It counts. 2nd and 10 from the 21-yard line. Call it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, I immediately ruled out Fallon, Kimmel, Colbert, Letterman, Conan, Leno. So it really wasn't, all that's left is kind of Carson. Just about. So, but I'll take the half point.
You got a half point. The 0.5 is yours. Now, the Stomp Baby trivia question for this week, and it involves both teams this time.
Oh, no.
The last time these two teams met in 2009, this is actually should be, I'm setting this on a tee for you. Who were the two head coaches?
Oh, my gosh.
I'll let you think about that until the fourth quarter. Get your guesses in at home. It's 3rd and 5 as we tick in under 3 minutes to play in quarter number 3.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think was he there that long?
Yep. Close to the first down. Going to be about a yard short.
Metcalf is piling up some tackles, too.
He and Jackson both have been all over the field tonight.
Yeah, Nathan's got him for 5, but it seems like double that. It seems like he's been all over the field.
So 4th and 1 here. Let's see what James Leonard does. Where they try to draw him off.
Looks like it. They're leaving the offense on. I can't imagine he's going to go for it from this spot. He's got Clark Jackson in there. It's a direct snap to Jackson.
It is.
Oh, and he bobbled it.
Drops it. Still going to get it. Gutsy call by James Leonard, and Jackson still on his feet. Huge gain across midfield, inside the red zone. Are you kidding me?
What a run.
Clark Jackson all the way down to the Westside 8-yard line, and that's a dagger, AB.
If you're Westside, you got exactly what you wanted, a botch snap. You think, okay, we're going to get the stop. Not so fast. Clark Jackson. And he just wouldn't come down. 63 yards later, he finally comes down inside the 10.
Well, that's rivaling the catch from the first quarter as our power and play of the game.
Nathan's pointing out, so reminiscent of Brendan Douglas back in the day, the former Georgia standout that played here at Aquinas when he would get those direct snaps.
And Jackson gets a breather. They'll go to Mobley again, and he's brought down after a gain of 2.
Now that just, again, demoralizing. You got him stopped maybe, and then the snap was, bobbled, and you're thinking, okay, here we go. And Clark Jackson able to quickly gather the ball and, more importantly, break some tackles.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about making something out of nothing.
Yeah, there's very few football players, if any better than that kid in the entire state, but certainly in this area. He is a heck of a player.
2nd and 8. I could hear the Westside press box staff to the left of us yelling no as soon as the ball was in the air. It's a touchdown to Kevin Douglas, his 2nd of the night.
33-7 with 36 seconds left.
I think that was Mobley. God, I'm so
it was hard to tell. I was listening to the coaching staff.
Was it 9? I'm never going to doubt you again if it was 9. I thought it was Mobley
that's
on the
screen. Second touchdown you've tried to take away from Douglas.
I'm trying to take.
What did they do to you?
I thought it was Mobley. Especially with the play design, because it was kind of a throw to the back. I don't know.
Well, we're going to make it up to the Douglas family now. You know how?
How's that?
Let's talk a little bit about Brendan Douglas, shall we?
Let's do.
Brendan Douglas, one of the most iconic photos in Georgia football history, I would say, in the last 10, 15, maybe 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
Got flipped upside down at the University of Missouri. If you don't remember, he's an Aquinas product. His family's a legacy here. He started that game because that was the game after Todd Gurley got suspended for the whole jersey thing.
It almost looks like he's photoshopped in there.
It really does. He had a great game in that game, 13 carries, 65 yards in that touchdown as Georgia routed Missouri 34-0. And there was also a little-known freshman in that game for Georgia that had a big game, 143 yards and a touchdown by the name of Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
Not sure whatever happened to him.
He turned out to be okay.
He was all right.
Well, yeah, Brendan was such – the Brendan story that stands out to me the most was not football. And I saw him – a buddy of mine came to a game – 2 quick Brendan stories. A buddy of mine came to the game to watch him play Lincoln County. Brendan in the first quarter had a fumble. He just wasn't himself. He probably had 5 yards rushing. And my buddy literally texted me and said, he's not as good as you said he was. Because he's a big Georgia fan. Leaves the game. Brendan Douglas ends up rushing for like 245 yards and 4 touchdowns. I text him back. It's like, you should have stayed. But the story that does stand out with me the most on Brendan, Ryan Bowers was hosting a combine for local players. And I went over there to help time the players and, give them the Wonderlic test. We did everything, just like a regular combine. The only thing different, instead of 225, they were repping out 185. Well, Brendan is on the side repping 225, just like working out, kind of. Well, they call his name first. He just done 225 about 10 times. He gets over and does 185 37 times. And everybody in that weight room is just staring at each other like, what are we watching?
I've never done more than 35 myself.
No. There's nothing I can think of that I could do 37 times without stopping.
Oh, man. He
But
was
yeah,
something
unbelievable.
special.
He was. Great guy, great player. And
now runs a restaurant franchise.
Sure
in
does.
Athens.
Yeah, sure does.
So still doing well for himself, representing Aquinas proudly. As Westside in desperate need of points, they're going to have to wait till the fourth quarter to do it, as they'll let time tick out here in the third. So 12 minutes left here in week 2 of Game Night Live. Aquinas leads Westside 34-7. All Aquinas on week 2 of Game Night Live as this rebuilding Westside Patriots team faces 2nd and 8 from its own 36 as we begin the final quarter of play. And Goss looking for a big one. Wheel route. Just overthrown. He was looking for Kamga again.
Yeah, 2 good athletes over there, Kamga and Malachi Gordon. And ball just a little overthrown.
It's fun when you have 2 of the better players on each side going head-to-head like
yeah.
that. And that time, Malachi won the battle. And that brings us to our QBs by the quarter for quarter number 3.
Well, we'll start this time with Westside's quarterback, Xavier Goss. He is 5 of 11, 64 yards. He does have the 1 interception, and he has a touchdown rushing as well. And Jim Franklin, we're talking about all the other players for Aquinas. Well, how about these numbers? 11 of 15, 169 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Could be an interesting debate for our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game, as Goss is going to take some punishment on 3rd down.
Yeah, Malachi Gordon got him, and they held him up, and then Clark Jackson and company come running through and knock him to the ground.
So loss of a couple, and another 4th down for the Patriots.
I think if you told James Leonard in the summer that you would have pretty much 2 blowout wins, and that's what it's looking like against Jefferson County and Westside, I think he would be a very happy camper. He said last week they got a little tired that Jefferson County's size sort of wore them down, and that's something that they worked on, just getting that conditioning right. Ooh.
And that is something you almost never see.
Yeah, the ball came off the side of the foot of Metcalf.
One of the better punters in all of our area, but that not one of his best kicks. And Aquinas, another big break. They will start from their 41-yard line. It takes us back to Bria Smith for another Augusta Auto Auction sideline report. Bria.
Well, let's take a look at the scoreboard. Aquinas is up 34-7, and we really can't ignore that last play there in the 3rd quarter by Clark Jackson. I mean, last game against Jefferson County, he contributed to his team with 3 total touchdowns and them ultimately winning 40-21. If they keep up this momentum, they can secure their 2nd win of the season. Back to you, John.
Yeah, and 59 yards away from really salting this thing away. But tell you who, not giving up. How about that? Jeffrey Hughes, who was shaken up earlier in this game. Big hit there.
Yeah, lost his helmet earlier, had to come out and made a great play there. Yeah, Westside's fighting. They got some players that the future is bright here. They got some young guys that can play. Goss, a junior. Kamga, we mentioned, is a sophomore.
As Westside takes a timeout. And again, not to take anything away from what Aquinas is, the show they're putting on tonight, but Westside does only return 1 to 3 starters, depending on who you ask, from a year ago. So future's bright, but tonight, so far, belongs to the Aquinas Irish.
Yeah, for sure. They've looked solid. That's what I would say. Maybe not spectacular, but I think they look solid, and I think James Leonard would be happy with solid.
Have you had enough time to think about the trivia question?
I have.
Let's go for it.
All right, so I was thinking, looking at Aquinas, and I was thinking, Marty Jackson and Jim Connor and all these guys, but I know that Matt Lazat was there before Leonard in 2012. Did he go back far enough to 09? So I'm going to go yes, because I'm going to say Matt Lazat, who played at Westside, coached at Aquinas, and I'm going to go Gerald Barnes was at Westside. It could have been Donald Finley, but I think it's Gerald Barnes.
And the answer is?
There we go. Let's go.
Lazat was the natural tie-in. Played
Yeah,
with
yeah.
a legend here at Westside, and then, of course, great coach at Aquinas, now at Richmond Hill near Savannah, where he's led them to a region title a couple of years ago.
Yeah, you just got to love his. He's one of those guys that's got that swagger, that just that confidence that borderlines on cocky, but you love that in your coach or in your player. It's what made him a great player. It's what makes him a great coach.
And, of course, on the other side, Gerald Barnes, and on the east, just beyond the east end zone here at the battlefield sits the baseball field here at Westside, where Gerald Barnes was the coach for 47 years. The field named after him, Gerald Barnes Field. 900-plus wins and 2 state championships, dozens of region titles. Just one of the true legends of our area. The baseball field actually used to sit right where this football field is before they built the football field and moved the baseball field a little bit. Douglas is going to pick up a few more yards and another first down. Continues to have a whale of a ball game. Barnes, just a great guy, and of course served as the head football coach here. Answer to the trivia question: 12 seasons and led the Westside to a region championship in football.
You won't find a better human being on top of the coach. And his son David is coaching now, head baseball coach over at Greenbrier, and that legacy he leaves here with all the talented teams he's had. Let's face it. There was a shift. Richmond County didn't have that much, that great of baseball, but Westside's always kept that tradition thanks to Barnes.
New quarterback in for Aquinas as Franklin lost his helmet on the last play.
Yes.
And you said he'd probably get a couple of snaps anyway.
Yeah, Jack Rhodes in there. He's the freshman, and Franklin comes back in.
Well, he got 1 snap.
He may get more. Let's see. It's just going to depend on Aquinas.
And again, we mentioned at the outset what great friends these two head coaches are. I would imagine you're going to see Aquinas in no hurry here.
Yeah, clock running, 8:40 to go, you see. And Mobley in the backfield. Here's a look at Coach Leonard. Man in black.
Another no from the Westside faithful to our left in the press box, and you see why. Another huge gain for Aquinas. And again, Malachi Gordon.
Yeah, just it's kind of a simple passing catch, and then good blocking downfield from the other receivers. And Gordon showing off his speed there as he gets him deep into Westside territory.
So 1st and goal from the 9 for the Irish.
Yeah, Nathan's pointing out how tough our player of the game debate is going to be. You got Franklin with 3 touchdown passes. You got
Douglas.
a huge game from Douglas.
Jackson's
looked great on both sides of the ball. And then on defense, Douglas with the pick. Jackson's looked great.
Douglas almost had another one. Nice play there by Jarius Ogden, another sophomore on this Westside team, getting some playing time. Good look at Lee Hutto in the white visor and white shirt. Hutto's our area's version of sort of a Bill Belichick type of, not personality-wise, but just if you want to talk defense and just sit down.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the other coaches, I'm sure. I mean, that's what James Leonard said, that he reached out to him. He said if he needs to ever talk defense, he reaches out to him.
I wasn't thinking of Belichick. I'm thinking of someone else.
Bill Parcells, maybe?
Parcells, maybe, I think is who I was thinking of. So the Irish knocking on the door here, trying to put this one away. Already up 27 with 7:25 left here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, this was a solid effort. They had their moments where they sputtered a bit, but you can't be mad at this performance. Like I said, Franklin's been super efficient passing the football. Jackson's run hard when he's ran. Mobley has run very hard. Douglas has been outstanding.
And it's Mobley in the backfield now, but they're going to go to Gordon. And he gets in. Another touchdown for Aquinas.
Another player having a good game. But that's 4 touchdown passes now for your QB.
It's hard to
ignore that. Man, could Kevin Douglas come out of this game without either offense or defense? Because you got Clark Jackson and you got your QB. And Douglas, 7 catches, 161 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
That's why I let you guys make those decisions.
That is a tough call. I mean, defensively, he's got a pick, but you've got Clark Jackson, who's been all over the field. Do we know tackles for Jackson? No, at one point, early on in the game, he had 6. I would guess he's in double.
Well, you got some time to think about it because we got to take a break. 6:31 to play in quarter number 4, 41-7, all Aquinas.
Michelson was all over the place. I think he's a better athlete.
Back at the battlefield. 6:31 left to play in week 2 of Game Night Live between Aquinas and Westside. 41-7. And another Burke Health kickoff for the Irish. Burke Health could send a gift card to the Irish tonight. They have kicked off a lot. And this one will be brought back to the 38-yard line. And the Patriots will set up there. All right, fine. I have a bonus trivia question for you. This does not count against your overall score, okay?
Okay, all right.
All right, but this was something I wanted to include, and I couldn't figure out a way to work it in, so here we go. Aquinas opened in 1957, okay?
Okay.
Before that, it was known as Boys Catholic.
Yeah.
It merged with another school to become Aquinas. Name that other school.
Is there a Highland?
I'm going to let you think about it.
Yeah,
that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, okay. It's not in the for some reason I'm thinking
Nathan?
it's Highland.
So Highland Avenue is the street over there.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it was a Highland Avenue.
That's it. That is the street.
Goss still working hard.
I mean, I know
down
I'm
by
old.
34.
He's asked me 1957 questions. I think it has something to do with Highland Avenue. Highland Boys School, Highland Avenue Boys School, Highland Avenue Catholic.
I have a feeling that there are a lot of Aquinas people. We've talked about the legacy of families in Aquinas who are throwing things at their television
for
right
sure.
now.
Oh, for sure. Hey, way to make everybody bad at me. It's like the SNL skit where they give each other jokes to read. She's throwing me under the bus. No, I'm just kidding.
Although it has been Aquinas for, like you said, well before either of our tenures here in the CSRA. Clock continues to tick, under 5 minutes here. Aquinas will move on next week to face Savannah Country Day School. That's a home game for the Irish. They'll try to stay, in all likelihood, undefeated. And tough road trip for Westside as they head down to Screven County. And as you know, that is not a short trip. Ball on the field. I believe the Patriots got it back. Goss Johnny on the spot. And you can see his frustration. He has played his heart out tonight. But the Patriots are going to punt again. And I was going to ask if maybe this might be when Rhodes takes over at QB, but it does look like Franklin's coming back in. He wants that McDonald's Offensive Player of the Game.
Well, he's had a heck of a game. I mean, a 10th grader. Remember Liam Welch? I said he threw around 30. I think he threw 31 that year. They won the state. Well, he's already got 7 touchdowns, does Franklin, in less than 2 games.
Welch had 4 touchdowns in the Border Bowl.
That's right. Welch did have 4 touchdowns in the Border Bowl. You're right, a Border Bowl record.
Another good kick by Metcalf.
Well, I know that I missed the question, John, because I'm not trying to look, but I'm texting player of the game information, and somebody just messaged me.
The answer?
The answer. The answer.
All right, viewers, you're not allowed to partake. You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to taint the.
I didn't mean to look.
Pool here.
Well, I just know that I got it wrong. Man, I would have never gotten that either.
So Aquinas with the ball, but backed up again with 2:52 to go, and I would imagine they'll just try to salt this thing away.
We do have a QB change.
And we do have a quarterback change. Franklin had his helmet on. He was ready to go.
Will always be ready to go.
Yeah, but it is Jack Rhodes who had a snap earlier in the game when Franklin came out for a play. And again, Leonard high on both of these guys.
Yeah.
Rhodes, freshman, and Mobley still running hard. Well, an impressive showing here by Aquinas tonight.
Yeah,
it's a good time. It's a good time to talk about AB's weekly poll that he does on Facebook and on his radio show. And I'm sure the Aquinas faithful are curious, AB.
Yeah, I think Barnwell and Aquinas both could possibly move up. Grovetown didn't really handle Greenbrier the way we thought they would. Lakeside was idle. Grovetown's up 14-7 in that game. So, yeah, there's a possibility. And South Aiken might be in some trouble against Lexington. That game was tied earlier. So.
And, for South Aiken, I know Lexington's just up I-20, another good hard run by Mobley. But coming off the high of that win last week for the Thoroughbreds, it's tough to maintain that sort of drive each and every week. We'll see if the T-Brads can pull it out.
Yeah, they're going to be one of the better teams in the area the whole year, I think. They've got a great quarterback in Terrence Smith. They've got a great young running back in Javon Edwards. He ran for 244 last week. I think South Aiken's going to be there for the long haul. Last year, they got blew out by Silver Bluff in the first game, so everybody forgot about them. And then all they did was win the rest of their regular season games. So
Aquinas taking its time here. This is going to be the last couple of snaps of the game. Mentioned where these two teams will be next week. We will be in Aiken County next week, as Rhodes will just fall on that one. Our first foray into South Carolina, Silver Bluff at Midland Valley. Game Night Live Week 3 next week. And that's a very interesting game for a lot of reasons, but it could be the Travion Dunbar Bowl. The former great running back from Silver Bluff, one of the great, most highly recruited players in our area. But coming back from injury, we are not sure if he will be playing. He's transferred to Midland Valley during the offseason, and we don't know if he's going to be playing next week or not. That's something we'll be monitoring through the week.
The number 4 ranked junior in South Carolina. Terrific player. And by the way, as the clock's running out, we, I guess, answered the trivia.
Yeah.
My guess on Highland Catholic was wrong. Go ahead.
It is.
You know the answer.
Now you're going to put me on the spot.
Mount
St. Joseph's. Mount St. Joseph's and Boys Catholic combined to form Aquinas, and tonight Aquinas combined for 41 points to top Westside and win the Richmond County rivalry 41-7. What a performance by the Irish tonight.
Yeah, solid performance. And, we're about to introduce the players of the game. Brielle have them down on the field. And look, you could have gone with Clark Jackson on offense or defense. You could have gone with Kevin Douglas on offense or defense. You could have gone with Franklin on offense. A lot of guys played well tonight. Very tough to decide. The QBs by the quarter, by the way. Let's get that in here.
For quarter number 4, brought to you by Culpeper Ace Hardware Lumber.
Yeah, Xavier Goss, 5 of 12 for 64 yards. He threw a pick. He also had a touchdown run. And then on the other side, the flip side, what a game for the young sophomore, Jim Franklin. 15 of 20, 223 yards, and 4 touchdown passes.
So the players shake hands at midfield. And as we debate the McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game, Bria Smith, if you can hear me on the sideline, I can see Coach Leonard.
Look who that is.
Waiting for you.
Look who's in the middle of the field, Liam Welch. We've been
How
talking about
that?
him all game.
Yeah.
That's a not pretty nice guy to be mentoring your young quarterback.
Well, one of the things James Leonard talked about on your radio show last night is how many of the former players come back and and of course on their coaching staff and just pay visits or in the weight room all the time. So now, another Augusta Auto Auction sideline report. Bria Smith with the victorious head coach of the Aquinas Fighting Irish, James Leonard. Bria.
Yeah, John. Well, first of all, Coach, congratulations on your win. I know this must be exciting, your second win of the season. Talk to me a little bit about what your mentality was going into the game and preparing your boys.
Well, we played a terrible first half, so we told them if it wasn't better than the second half, it was going to be a long weekend. So I think they got the picture.
What is something that you're looking forward to for the rest of this season? You have a couple of players of the game, Kevin Douglas, Jim Franklin. What are some of the things you were expecting from them?
Yeah, we got some guys that can throw and catch. Big thing for us right now is we got to get healthy. We got a lot of guys that are starters still not playing. A lot of young guys are banged up right now. So the big thing for us right now is just getting healthy. And we got to practice better. We can't come out and play a half. We played a terrible second half last week, a terrible first half this week. So we got to learn how to put a whole game together.
And lastly, what are some of your hopes moving forward from all of your team, and especially the two players of the game?
Yeah, I mean, we got two special players in Jim and Kevin, that's for sure. I've known Kevin his whole life. It's very exciting to watch him get to perform like this his senior year. And, Jim's a very special player for such a young quarterback, so very proud of how they both played and proud of how everybody played in the second half.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to Aquinas on their second win of the season. We'll head to break, and when we come back, we'll introduce the McDonald's players of the game. Alrighty, well, we're here with the McDonald's players of the game. First and foremost, the offensive player of the game, Jim Franklin. Congratulations to you. And we also have the defensive player of the game, Kevin Douglas. Congratulations. You can go ahead and grab your trophy. So talk to me a little bit about what your mindset was going into this game, and now that you all have won and had your second win of the season.
Just to prove that last week wasn't a mistake. We came out in the second half last week and didn't finish the game, and so our mindset was to finish all 4 quarters this game, and I think we did so in the second half. We came out with a drive to finish the game, and we sure did that.
And what is something that you knew you had to do on the offensive end to secure another win for your team this season?
Just come out in the second half and score more points. First half we were a bit sluggish, and just gave the ball to my receivers, and they made a play. So.
And I guess I'll ask you both one at a time. What are some of the things that you're looking forward to in your next game as you guys progress with the season?
I'd say definitely putting 4 quarters together and playing some stout defense.
And what are some things you're looking forward to in your next game as you move forward with the season?
Just to prove to people that our team, we're not a fluke. We can actually win some games and put on from 706.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to you both and your entire team. Back to you, John and AB.
And it was not an easy decision by any stretch, AB.
No, not at all. I mean, Clark Jackson, ran the ball 5 times for 106 yards and a touchdown. A low count is probably 9 on tackles. He probably had more than that. You also had Mobley, who had a great game, 19 carries, 113 yards and a touchdown. But in the end, Douglas had the pick on defense, but he also had 7 catches, 161 yards, and 2 scores on offense, and it was hard to argue with Franklin.
Yeah.
15 of 20, 223, and 4 touchdowns for the sophomore. And he's got some size. He's got those quarterback-looking arms. I mean, that kid's a player.
I wish the viewers could see you demonstrating quarterback-looking arms up here in the booth.
But I don't have them. So
I digress.
I've got to describe them.
We'll just move right along to the East Central Health District hit of the game for Week 2. And this week, the honors go to the Westside getting in on the mix. Sean Metcalf. Yeah. A great punter. Almost hit a 57-yard field goal and gets our East Central Health District hit of the game, which leaves us with the Powerade play of the game. And there were a lot of nominees for this as well.
Yeah, there were 2 big ones, but that run on the bobbled snap, you missed the bobbled snap at the beginning that looked like a disaster, and instead it turned into a 60-yard-plus run, I think 65 yards on the run by just a terrific player in Clark Jackson.
The final thoughts?
Yeah, I think Westside's got some talent. I think the Franklin kid really blew me away. I think you throw him in there with some of these players, and as Coach Leonard talked about, when they get healthy, because they were missing Guerrero and some other kids on that team, when they get healthy, Clark Jackson's 100%. That's a really tough team. And for Westside, they're just young. They're going to go through some growing pains this year, but they got a great coach on their side in Lee Hutto that'll have them ready, prepared to play. They came out with a game plan and looked good. It's just they ran out of gas against a team that was a little better.
All right, well, the fourth quarter went by very quickly on us, so I didn't get a chance to thank our crew that's out here all day setting up as picture time continues on the field. I want to thank our director, Kyle Thomas, replay editor, Hannah Diarco, Josh Recor in graphics, as always, Jeff Singleton in audio. On the cameras for us tonight, Akia Hawes, Zach King, Matt Mercier, Gary Nipple, and our field grip, Katron Hugie. sidelines for us and does so much during the week to get Game Night Live ready from Monday through Friday. Emily Pinocchia. Red cap tonight, Kevin Chang running the live truck here at the stadium, Reggie Mackey, and keeping us on the air back in Master Control at Television Park, as always, Levi Crawford. 1 week from tonight, we will see you from Mustang Valley. What we hope will be the Travion Dunbar Bowl, but either way, going to be a great matchup between Silver Bluff and Midland Valley. And that's next week at 7:30. And don't forget, football Friday night coming your way, 11:35 over on WJBF News Channel 6. Brendan Roberts and Colin Cody with the only 30-minute show in town dedicated solely to high school football. It was fun tonight. Enjoyed it, fellas? For Bria Smith down on the sidelines, Nathan Edwards, our statistician, Ashley Brown, I'm John Hart. See you next week from Midland Valley.